Good morning, everyone. How are we doing? Today I have a new video for you. It will be a little bit of a shorter video. Um, that is for several reasons. On one hand, I'm a little bit sick, but don't worry, it's nothing serious. On the other hand, I currently don't have my XLR cable for the microphone, so I would feel at unease if I had to record a longer video without proper sound, but I hope it's still going to be fine. And lastly, quite straightforward, it is because what we will be exploring today doesn't really have so much interesting Google Street View imagery. However, it is still an interesting topic, or perhaps somewhat controversial. I think for many people, not. For me, perhaps a little bit, but I don't want to make it in any way political. And yeah, I want to be exploring Tesla's Gigafactory that was built in Berlin and opened in 2022 or 2023. So where do we start? I want to give you a few information about, Tesla's factories perhaps, and this particular one in Berlin, and then we're going to be exploring everything on site. So this Gigafactory here in Berlin is the only current one that is in Europe that produces whole cars. Um, if we look at the current production facilities, most of them are in US, of course, in Fremont, in Nevada, and also in Canada and China. We also see that not in every factory they produce whole cars. So there are a few production facilities in Germany already, but this is mainly for equipment, door handles, or tools. I'm not too sure. There are factories where they just produce seats and batteries. And yeah, they produce the Model Y in Germany. Looks like this. It is maybe Tesla's family car. I believe it's also the car where the doors open like as you know wings like this, giving the Tesla logo instead. But yeah, this particular Gigafactory has 11,500 employees, an area of 3 square kilometers, and it is located in the Tesla Street 1. Interestingly, what I saw is that many European countries competed to have the first European production facility where Tesla is producing a whole car in their country. Amongst them France, Netherlands, Portugal, Lithuania, Estonia, Finland. But yeah, Tesla decided for Germany, perhaps because of the central location, perhaps because the proximity to a big new airport, or like the expanded airport of Berlin-Schönefeld, BER in airport terminology, because there are maybe train tracks. I don't know what's the precise reason. Money. I really don't know. But of course, this now being in Germany, on one hand, has many sort of like, Tesla supporters who are like, yeah, finally, the climate change is here. Finally, we can buy electric cars. Finally, something good is happening to Germany. And on the other side, there are people who are like, we don't want this big factory destroy our nature. We don't want this big factory here. We don't want more cars. We don't want electric cars, for the reasons of some components used in the battery that I don't want to go into detail right now. Yeah, this is a scene from the opening day. There was a Ferris wheel. You could buy, yeah, sausages, beer. There was a concert. Of course, Elon Musk was there. I believe some politicians, if not the chancellor too, but I don't know if that was particularly precisely on opening day. So it was a fest, an event for the whole family. And yeah, as I said, I think it's has attracted a lot of attention in many ways. There has been news of Elon Musk trying to go into Berghain, the famous Berlin nightclub. Elon Musk sleeping in this Gigafactory. There are many sort of interesting headlines that came with it. And now that it is opened and running, I want to explore it on the map. The map imagery is from 2022, I believe, so we cannot see everything. We cannot get very close to the factory necessarily, but there is something we can see, and I want to start. Of course, not immediately next to the factory. We will do it in the older format that we will kind of approach the factory from a little bit of afar. In this scenario, we'll be imagining coming from Berlin for a daily trip. Perhaps we are on a motorbike, perhaps we are in a Tesla, perhaps we are in a truck, in a diesel engine car. Who knows? And I'm starting right here, next to the Autobahnmeisterei Erkner. Autobahnmeisterei is the company that takes care of the Autobahn, of the motorways. And yeah, from here we start. So let's do it. I don't want to be blabbering half of the day away. I've kind of looked at the map so that I at least know where to go. So I think you'll be just safe and sound sticking around with me now. Here we are now on this little connector. I'm always calling these parts connectors, but I don't think actually in proper English it's called like this, but anyway, oops, I didn't even look. Yeah, all clear. So now we are traveling down south towards the factory, which perhaps I should show you just in 1 second where exactly that factory is. So here's Berlin, basically. South of Berlin is the main airport of Berlin, and that factory is here. Tesla Gigafactory Berlin Brandenburg. It's a gigantic area carved into the woods. As far as I understand, it was already sort of like an area that was open for industries. There's Edeka and Lidl factories or facilities, two of Germany's biggest supermarkets. And yeah, it is within proximity to the airport, 18 kilometers away. From Berlin, it is, let's say from Berlin city center, 25-30 kilometers away. So overall, quite a good sort of location. And we are traveling down now this highway coming from Berlin and seeing what we encounter. Fair to say that this part of the highway looks absolutely new, but I don't think that they have sort of renewed that just for this factory. I mean, of course not. Yeah, the usual issue, we just sometimes get stuck a little bit. But I think that if we are on this middle lane here, we should be quite safe and can take our time. So, here, as the trees open up, we are right here, where there should be a first sort of entrance to the factory. Maybe just if you come from the southern side. Of course, this is the factory in the background. I have also looked at the factory in, I believe it was Texas, which we could check that, which I believe is one of the Gigafactory Texas, one of the biggest factories they have with 10,000 square feet. Yeah, it's the biggest. And the Berlin one, I don't know exactly how. 2.24. Yeah, so it is smaller, and that was also my impression when I looked at both of them on the map. Hmm. It's an interesting looking truck. Start the future. This is the company that produces such trucks, for example. Maybe also buses. I'm not too sure. But it's a nice kind of, you know, when you go and see the Tesla factory from Berlin, and maybe you are interested in buying a Tesla or just interested in the factory or the kind of company culture or the company itself, it's the kind of truck you want to be running into on the highway. Start the future. You feel immediately like I'm in the right place at the moment. Yeah. Some gasoline truck that, yeah, it's not so nice from Google to really put their critique in here, but yeah, so be it. And in front of us is a Tesla. You know, if you go to the BMW facilities or nearby, are you gonna see a lot of BMWs? I think so. Volkswagen facilities, little Volkswagen. I think so. And here we can take a moment to look at the factory from the side. Just at the sheer scale, I mean, I don't think that our camera does it much justice, but of course it's very, very big. Dresden, Frankfurt, Oder, Dreieckschwer. This, by the way, if I can just say this in one sentence, in Germany there are two cities called Frankfurt, but one is on the river Oder and one is on the river Main. To avoid any confusion in any future video. So, but we are traveling further on these new, very smooth roads. Tesla, I believe this A, B, and this is the glitch, you know. A, B are a set of gates, factory gates, for perhaps delivery or for entrance of customers or who knows. But here we have to leave the highway, enjoy the beautiful scenery in this beautiful day, August 2022, a warm day in south of Berlin. The trees are blossoming. I always say these are pine trees, but then I'm often corrected that these are not pine trees. So these trees, not pine trees, that are so typical for this region of around Berlin, Brandenburg, is its name. Yeah, I really enjoy. What are these two guys doing here? Oh, nothing. And yeah, as we are rolling down here, this is the factory. There are a few things we can look at from outside, if we ever gonna make it to the main factory courtyard. Yes. You see, I'm traveling around here as if I have been here already, but of course, when I'm exploring a new area, I need to check in the beginning if I can even get anywhere close, because otherwise, yeah, it's just gonna be really difficult. So from here, one thing I wanted to show you is that some parts of the outer factory wall have been sprayed with graffiti, which, you know, it's just kind of a marketing. Yeah, it's also evil to say it's just a marketing thing. I mean, they can do whatever they want with their factory. But yeah, you can imagine Elon Musk saying like, yeah, let's do this. It's cool. It's Berlin. It's fun. And probably it is to many people. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of selfies being taken in front of it. One thing I have been missing, though, that I have not been missing in the Nevada factory is a Tesla logo but perhaps it's on one of the other sides. Um, yeah, you see, of course, a lot of, well, not so many, but some Teslas standing about, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe there will be superchargers here. I don't know exactly where. But here we cannot get any further. So what I would like to do is kind of to travel a bit further past this factory. Because like one thing that has fascinated me is how just like kind of carved into the woods this massive area is, and of course there's going to be protests, but it may also be that these trees have just been like planted artificially, so it's not like, you know, you're destroying part of the Amazon, but of course you're destroying nature, which is never a good idea if it can be avoided somehow. But yeah. So I don't know if this is still part of the factory. I think so. This is the main Gigafactory. I'm not too sure how Tesla classifies their factories. Giga, Mega, Kilo factory. If it's a really tiny express factory, I don't know. This bus just goes to Tesla. And by the way, this street is Tesla Street that circles the factory that we cannot really see right now. But yeah, exactly because of these little things that we know now, there's a bus that just goes to Tesla, which meaning Tesla Gigafactory is why we are here. And yeah, so we are leaving the factory side. One thing I wanted to show you is some images from the air. Just like this one here. So this is the main factory. And just see how massive this area is. I don't know all the things that will be built here. If I had done my research, I could maybe tell you more. But yeah, it is really impressive in terms of size. I will say that. Here you see it even better. This like kind of piano shaped hole in the woods. And I think that the factory has been celebrated, opened, yeah, in just 2 or 3 years, which I think is rather quick. I mean, even though it being a factory, so I guess there's a lot of standard manufacturing, but it is very quick, yeah. Here, again, from the distance, beautiful southern part of Berlin. I mean, the outskirts of Berlin are generally quite beautiful. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to show you. Tesla Street, Tesla Street. So I hope you enjoyed this little look at the Tesla factory. I hope I didn't talk too much nonsense in the meantime, and I hope you got an idea of what's going on. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Bye bye.